Salvete omnes, welcome to this video lesson on chapter 12, capitulum duodecimum. The title is Miles Romanus, a Roman soldier. In the margin we see gladius, the Roman short sword with broad blade, used for stabbing. Pilum, a throwing spear or javelin. Hasta, a lance, which would be a jabbing spear mostly used from horseback. Scutum is a shield, Roman-style shield. Arma Romana, arma means arms and armor, and so arma Romana, Roman arms and armor, the sort of things that Roman soldiers would use. Now the pilum is used by a foot soldier in Rome, and the hasta would be used primarily by the cavalry soldiers, the equites. Pedites are foot soldiers, equites are the cavalry, and the gladius was shorter for the foot soldiers and a little bit longer for the cavalry. So, Miles Romanus. Quintus est frater Marci. Quintus is the brother of Marcus. Notice Marci is in the genitive possessive case. Julia soror eius est. Julia is his sister. Remember, eius is a genitive case. It can be his, hers, or its. I know it's his here because it's clearly referring back to Marcus, right? Quintus is Marcus's brother. Julia is his sister. All right. Marcus et Quintus fratres Juliae sunt. Marcus and Quintus are the brothers of Julia, or are Julia's brothers. Again, Juliae, genitive case, showing possession. Marcus patrem et matrem, fratrem et sororem habet. Marcus has a father and mother, a brother and a sister. Nomen patris est Julius. The name of the father is Julius. Matris Aemilia. Of the mother, Aemilia. Quintus est nomen fratris. Quintus is the name of the brother. Julia sororis. Julia of the sister, meaning the name of the sister. All right, now we're going to go to some different cases. We used a lot of genitives in that paragraph. Marco, dative case, una soror est. To Marcus there is one sister. Juliae duo fratres sunt. To Julia there are two brothers. Now that's normal in Latin to say something like that. It doesn't sound weird to them to use a dative that way. It's called a dative of possession because the dative is the person who sort of possesses or is somehow having the thing that is the nominative. So to Marcus there is one sister. There is one sister for Marcus is another way we could say it. To Julia there are two brothers. Again, we could say two brothers. There are two brothers for Julia. But the to or for dative, it sounds a bit weird to us in English, but it, again, very, very normal in Latin. Something that I'm sure I've taught you before if you're at this point. Quid tibi nominis, what to you the name is. That's how you say, what's your name? What name do you have in Latin? It's literally what to you the name is. So the tibi is a dative of possession, just like we have here, but it's very normal in Latin. And you answer, mihi nomen est, or nomen mihi est, the name to me is. So Romans would be very used to hearing this kind of thing. Nomina fratrum, the names of the brothers, sunt Marcus et Quintus, are Marcus and Quintus. Patri et matri, patri et matri, to the father and to the mother, una filia et duo filii sunt. There's one daughter and there are two sons, right? So there's the datives again, patri et matri, those are third declension datives this time. Matri Aemilia nomen est. To the mother, Aemilia is the name. Okay? Or Aemilia is the name for the mother, you could also say. Quod nomen est patri? What is the name for the father? Ei nomen est Lucius Julius Balbus. For him the name is Lucius Julius Balbus. Viro Romano tria nomina sunt. For a Roman man there are three names. Lucius est praenomen. Lucius is the first name. Id est nomen primum. That is the first name, right? So praenomen again is the first name. It would be the name that Roman boys would be called when they were little kids, okay? Balbus cognomen est. Balbus is the cognomen. We could call this surname if we wanted. It's the last name for Roman. It's the name for sort of the closest family group. Filiis nomina sunt, to the sons, or for the sons, the names are Marcus Julius Balbus et Quintus Julius Balbus. Marcus Julius Balbus and Quintus Julius Balbus. Notice that both of them share the middle name, which is the nomen, and the last name, the cognomen, with their father. Oftentimes, the oldest son would be named after their father, so Marcus could have been Lucius Julius Balbus. Not sure why here. Some families didn't do that. It could be, in fact, that they did have a Lucius, but he died because death in childbirth, death of young children was very common in the ancient Roman world. So I don't know the reason, whether it's one or the other. I don't think the book tells us. But again, it would be very common to have a son and the oldest son be named exactly the same as the father. All right, going on. Marcus et Quintus praenomina sunt filiorum. Marcus and Quintus are the first names, or the prenames, right, of the sons. Alia praenomina latina sunt. Other first names in Latin, or other Latin first names to be fully literal, are Aulus, Decimus, Gaius, Publius, Sextus, Titus. Now on the margin they show you that there are abbreviations for these first names. Romans only had something like about 20 first names that guys could be called, okay? So they give you some of the most common ones right there. But there are some others. Again, there's only a total of about 20 or so of these. So everybody, every Roman male would have one of those first names, right? Very, very common. And because they are so common, there were abbreviations for them because people knew what to expect. Just to give you a couple examples of some more, Tiberius is another one. Tiberius, we say in English. And that is abbreviated T-I instead of T, like Titus. I always remember that because Titus is a shorter word, so it has the shorter abbreviation T. Tiberius is longer, so it has a T-I. There are some others like with the M. M-N is Manilius. Or, sorry, not Manilius, Manlius. Manlius is M-N. There is a C-N, which is Gnaeus, G-N-A-E-U-S, which is a little bit similar to Gaius. And notice Gaius has a C as the abbreviation. Remember that the reason that Gaius has a C and C-N is an abbreviation for Gnaeus with the G-N at the beginning is because originally Latin didn't have a G. The Romans invented the letter G by changing the C because they realized there was a difference between the way they pronounce K and the way they pronounce G, okay? So they invented this new letter for themselves by changing the C a little bit and making a G. So because they had already spelled names with G sounds with the C previously, they kept those kind of archaic, what do you call it, the abbreviations, right? So the C for Gaius and the C-N for Gnaeus. All right, going on in 17, Aemiliae est unus frater. For Aemilia there is one brother, qui nomen est, for whom the name is Aemilius, all right? So Aemilius, notice, looks a lot like Aemilia. Aemilia's name comes from her father, who was who had the family name Aemilius, and then her brother, his full name was Publius Aemilius Paulus. The father, the same name. So he was named after the father here, and then she has a feminine version of the father's middle name, Aemilius. That was a common thing for Romans to do. Frater Aemiliae est avunculus liberorum. The brother of Aemilia is the uncle of the children. Avunculus is, in fact, where our word uncle comes from. It's a derivative of that. Avunculus in Latin specifically is only a uncle on the mother's side. There's another word, patruus, that means an uncle on the father's side. All right. Amilius autem procula sorore sua abest. Amilius, however, is far away from his sister. Itaque tristis est Aemilia, and so Aemilia is sad, quae fratrem suum amat. Aemilia, who loves her brother. Marcus et Julia, materem suam, tristim in hortum exire vidint. Marcus and Julia see their mother go out into the garden sad. Now, literally, exire is to go out. That's the accusative infinitive construction we saw a lot in the last chapter. So we don't say to go out here, we just say see their mother go out sad into the garden, or go out sadly into the garden, we would say. It is sad, literally, here in the Latin. All right, continuing. Et patrem interrogant, and they ask their father, cur mater nostra tristis est? Why is our mother sad? And then Julia says, mater vestra tristis est, your mother is sad, quod Aemilius procula bea abest, because Aemilius is far away from her. Aemilius avunculus vester est, Aemilius is your uncle. Vester is your in the sense of your plural, so he's talking to all the kids. If he were just talking to one of them, he would say avunculus tuus, right? So Vester is your in the sense of all of the kids, all y'all's uncle. Aemilius is your uncle. Ides frater matris, that is the father of your mother. Mater tristis est, your mother is sad. Quod fratrem suum videre non potest, because she's not able to see her brother. And Marcus asks, Ui est avunculus noster? Where is our uncle? And Julius replies, Avunculus vester est in Germania. Y'all's uncle is in Germany. Aemilius miles est. Aemilius is a soldier. Miles militis, of course, is where we get military from. In Germania, multi sunt milites Romani. In Germany, there are many Roman soldiers. And Julia, who's a little girl that doesn't know about these things, says, Quid est miles? What is a soldier? And Julia says, Miles est vir, qui scutum et gladium et pilum fert. A soldier is a man, vir, who carries, okay, fert is that irregular verb for carries, a shield and a sword and a javelin or throwing spear. Scutum et gladius et pilum sunt arma militis Romani. The shield and the sword and the pilum, the throwing javelin, are the arms or weapons of a Roman soldier. Miles est vir armatus. A soldier is an armed man. So notice the adjective armatus comes from arma, meaning arms and armor. All right, we'll stop there, concluding section 1. Hope you learned a few new things about some vocabulary and got comfortable with the datives of possession. Valete!